So we watched a couple of movies last night. One being Frozen. That was as I got home. Ellie had already started watching that one. So we finished it, and then we watched Elf. And I want to talk about a couple of things that I found wrong in both of those. Again, suspending the idea that it's, Frozen is a magical story with sorcery and, animals that are snowmen that are alive and animals that are kind of personified. And Elf being a story of an elf and Santa and the North Pole and things like that. Suspend those ideas. Just looking at them story-wise and plot-wise, a couple things that I found wrong. First of all, let's start with Elf. All right? The main issue that I take with Elf is in the last 15 to 20 minutes of the movie. Santa is in Central Park, and Buddy is trying to get the engine reattached so the sleigh will fly. Okay? We learn early in the movie that the sleigh is powered by Christmas spirit. And that because not many people are believing in Santa anymore, then the sleigh is not flying on its own and they have to use the turbine. Okay? Fast forward to the end of the movie. Santa's in Central Park. Engine has fallen off. Michael and Walter are in Central Park looking for Buddy, who is currently helping Santa put the engine back on. Okay? Quote, Papa taught him how. He showed it to him like one time. And then told him that he was a human and he left. Okay? I don't know how he taught him how to do it. Anyway. So, through a series of events, Walter and Michael eventually find Buddy and Santa, and they learn that he is real. Michael gets his skateboard, and Santa's sleigh kind of hovers a little bit. The needle on the clausometer that measures Christmas spirit flicks up to 20 out of 100 from one kid getting what he wanted for Christmas and believing in Santa for a half a second, and then it goes away. Okay? So either Michael believed and then didn't believe again, or the clausometer is like a battery, and once it's charged, then it depletes, and then you have to charge it again. I don't know. Don't know how that works. Doesn't make sense. That's one of the problems. Additionally, one child makes that clausometer pop up to 20 out of 100. 20% based on one kid. I don't think so. If the sleigh flew on the Christmas spirit of the entire world, which Santa alludes to later, one kid is not going to make it pop up to 20. Additionally, he tells him that he can't just bring in the news cameras and show him, because believing is believing, not seeing. You don't have to see to believe something, you just need to believe it. If they saw him, then the belief would be null and void. So what does Michael do? Takes the book to the square where they're shooting the news and shows everybody that's watching that this book exists, and then starts reading things off so people believe, and the clausometer starts to rise. After like 4 people, the thing is at 50%. 4 people. Clausometer's at 50%. Apparently it needs to be at 100% in order to fly like any substantial height, because it doesn't go very high at all until Walter starts singing the song at the end. And so you have all the people in the square, which is maybe 50 to 60 people, plus all the people watching. So you're maybe looking at a couple thousand people when you think about how many people are most likely watching New York 1 at that time. But it's Christmas Eve, first of all. Who's watching the news on Christmas Eve? Okay? Secondly, there's only a couple thousand people that, by singing one song, shows they believe in Santa enough to power his sleigh to 100% and make it fly. Forget the couple of thousand people around the world, just kids alone, that likely still believed in Santa Claus. All it took was a few people to sing a song on the news, and we're good to go. I don't think so. Last point, and then I'll talk about Frozen this afternoon. Last point. The little girl, I don't remember her name, that wanted the Susie Talks a Lot doll. Why in the world is this little girl who's like 7 years old tops, like I'm leaning more towards like 4 or 5, She's like 7 years old at the most. Why is she sitting up late on Christmas Eve in her own room watching New York 1? Somebody needs to question that little girl. I'll see you this afternoon.